that last instance.
Was that?
I had accidentally toggled off the destinations.
Oops.
Oops, indeed. Okay, yes. Suddenly, I see, yes, I'm alive. It's electrifying.
You're alive. It's alive.
Stream crash. Here's a new link. Let the good people know where it can be found. I sincerely hope. Because, you know what? This is worthy of conversation. Yes, okay, yes. I think we're working again. Okay.
You're live on Twitch, yes.
Huzzah! And I think I'm alive on YouTube as well. Yes, we're back. We're back. Oh my goodness gracious, that took far too long. Okay. Everyone, I would like to point something out. Today is September 2nd. I have a huge stigma about September. It is, it has been a very difficult month for me over the course of my life. Mm-hmm. And I don't just mean the national tragedy of 9/11, though I certainly include that as a reason. Both my grandmothers passed away in September. My dog Shay passed away in September. It always seems to be a month that just, aside from good news, what am I saying aside from? There is good news. It features the birthday of my friend Sweetie Bloom, of which I greatly celebrate. It features my mother's birthday, which I would definitely celebrate. But it's also just had some hard times that go with the good.
Yeah.
And that's all I can really say. It's So what has just happened, I fully consider to be the domain of September just saying, hey, Silver-Quill, does this bug you? Does this bug you? Does this bug you? But we're back. We're back, and I hope that it will stick.
We are.
So, sincerest apologies to everyone for the technical difficulties, and thank you for sticking with me.
Yes, we appreciate your patience.
Now, as we were trying to set this up, Maddie was telling us a little bit about her, what's been going on, including, there have been some very understandable delays in making videos, but it sounds like you're moving to the opposite end of that journey.
Well, I'll be able to actually take on paid work again. Now that part of my immigration process is finally through. So not being able to work for the last 9 months has been very difficult.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Or perhaps I can't.
Recording it's quite difficult as well right now with the living situation I'm in. So I've also not really been, I'm going to just be honest here, with everything that's been going on with immigrating and then planning the wedding blessing, which had to be postponed again, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Making videos has had to take a back seat. Like, I've been editing videos for other people. I edit videos for Doc every now and then. The commentary videos for the Keep 2 series and a few other things. So I'm still able to do the video work, but audio recording for my own project has been on hold for quite a while. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a good momentum going now that we so I mean there's a collaborative project that we've been wanting to work on, like me and you have been wanting to work on for a while, and there's quite a few video topics that I've been wanting to cover and talk about. Oh, like stream's gone again.
No.
Well, it's fine. It's okay. It's on Twitch. It's fine.
Oh my goodness, no.
It's okay, but
the tragedy.
It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. It's back.
Oh yeah, it's back. Oh, it's back. But Enderpup's got the right score. 0 for 4. What is this?
It couldn't handle my monologue of everything that I've been doing the last 9 months.
Oh, I think it's crashing under the sheer generosity of people as Trinary donated $5. Thank you, Trinary. You're spoiling me rotten again. Also, a quick shout out to Bill Dragon 88 and Venom Bite 18 who are following. I promise this is not the norm. Y'all believe my streams go uninterrupted, but boy howdy tonight. Oh, and Tennessee Dragon followed. Thank you. I don't know, maybe tonight's it's just a spectacle. How long before Silver breaks?
Well, if you do, I'm here to put it back together again, so it's fun.
Oh, but
like Felix, I'll just hit you with the hammer. Or no, I'll get Mary Sue to do that.
Yeah, she'd volunteer. She'd do that willingly. Far too willingly.
I'm gonna fix it.
Although now I'm trying to picture, like, what she would probably put, like, Silver-Quill on backwards, like Mel Brooks at Beaming Up in Spaceballs. Why did no one tell me my ass was this big?
Yeah. But going back to what I've been working on, I've mainly been focusing on my art portfolio and building that up and doing a few various art courses, basically relearning things I probably already knew, like doing anatomy courses and production design and things like that. Just building a better portfolio to use for future.
Well, that's smart.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's really smart that you're doing exactly right by that. Because you're preparing for the future and you're taking advantage of the time that's available. Also,
yeah, we legally got married in April, so we've been like everything that entails in regards to setting up a new life as a new married couple, which is really exciting. And we hope to have our own place in maybe a year or two. So, and I'm able to work, and that might be more within sooner. But we shall see what the future holds.
Indeed, we shall see. But
I'm just happy I'm here.
Well, but I wish you all the success.
Thank you.
Now, Jaden Lawson, who doesn't get to watch most streams, would like to know who is our wonderful guest. And so, if you don't mind a reintroduction, this is Mad Munchkin, who hails from Scotland but has recently came to America. She's an exceptionally talented artist and video reviewer, and also champion of things creative.
Yes, that's a very nice intro. I appreciate it.
She's also the creator of The Bane in My Existence, Mary Sue.
She's the bane in everyone's existence.
So much baning. All the banitude.
Yep.
This isn't over, you glorified pigeon.
Yes, that's how our relationship works. Although now I'm kind of wondering, have you ever drawn Mary Sue in the Bane getup? You know, you were born. You got used to the shadows. I was born in them. Now all she has to do is, oh, I'm Mary Sue.
What a lovely book.
Exactly.
Can't do that properly. Oh, Lord.
It's a lovely, lovely voice.
Yes, it is the best voice ever. But it also hurts my throat.
Hmm.
And I can't do it quiet. So there's that too.
Well, I will not ask for a repeat performance, but just know I hear it and it makes me shudder. I have images of flying brooms. Whoop.
Yes.
Now, here we go. Eagle wings.
Enderpop says Mary Sue as Baroness von Bonbon.
Mary Sue as Baroness. Sorry, I usually hear Baroness and I think G.I. Joe.
Okay. Baroness von Bonbon is boss from the video game Cuphead.
Cuphead.
And yes, and there's the Netflix series and the second season of and the 6th episode of the second season features Baroness von Bonbon, and I'm obsessed with her because she stole Mary Sue's color palette.
What?
But if I find a picture and I'll send it to you on Discord. Like, in fact, I'll send you the art I drew of this character. 1 second. I made a speed draw video for this piece of art. And I also drew a picture of Mary Sue beating the character up because she stole her color palette. I need to find the picture first, which I'm failing at.
Believe me, after tonight, there's no one else is failing as hard as I. Where's my stream? Come on!
It's still here. Don't worry.
It's gonna be okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Oh wait, no, I am panicking.
Okay, I've sent you a link to the art I drew of Baroness von Bonbon.
Bon 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 bon.
Bon Bon Bon.
Bon bon bon. Wait, well now all I can think of is bon bon bon. All I can think of is if My Little Pony featured a Baroness.
Mm-hmm.
Now why is
I don't know.
there we are.
And the second one is Mary Sue beating her up.
So there's the Baroness. Taking just a minute for the stream to catch up.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh no.
Gross.
Gross? Come now, you should imagine. Yesterday, I, being me, had several instances of fart humor in both My Little Pony and Kamen Rider.
Okay.
And I worry where Mary Sue is going to stick that candy cane.
Well, that Mary Sue is not Mary Sue. That cane is technically a shotgun because that's how she uses it in the game.
Well, she's about to have a shotgun wedding with death. I mean, he can't.
But you see what I mean with the colors?
I do. I can see why she's upset.
How dare you steal my color palette?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so I've been doing, really working on my anatomy and tightening up my line work when it comes to creating art pieces, focusing much more on the line work rather than the shading and texture and all that. So, yeah, that's basically what I've been doing.
Well, that's a good deal right there.
Mm.
All right, now I'm wanting to see how well these wings conform to the horseshoe. They don't conform as well as I'd like. I'm going to need to ungroup them. And then regroup them. Now let's see here. I saw there's some questions out there.
Oh.
Draymond Naldoran wonders that I got mad about Rainbow's deadly sharp pendulums in French Miss Magic issue number 71, which, if I remember correctly, is the Halloween episode featuring the Student 6, where Twilight and friends really screw up and create an actual death trap for their students. And it's true, I was mad, not just at Rainbow, but pretty much all of them for being so blatantly unprepared or not practicing any safety standards with their students. The point being, and Draymond says, who's to say she didn't just modify them along with the other scary traps? This was Celestia and Luna's castle in the first place, a la Castlemania. And yes, and all of those were, well, okay. Castlemania, one can argue that those traps were never meant to be lethal. They're just scary. Even the hall with hooves holding candles was a bit scary. But a trapdoor was just like a slip and slide for them. I don't think they included anything lethal in the original design. That doesn't strike me as Celestia and Luna's style. So I don't know if I could follow that so much. Oh. Pardon me one sec. So I still would fault Twilight and Friends with gross dereliction or gross negligence. Either way, it's really gross. Especially if anyone got caught by those traps. Oh, that'd be very gross. Let's see. Amy Double Rainbow wants to know, how many times did I make Lightning Bliss angry? Are we talking over the Everfree Northwest weekend, or maybe before? Because, I stopped counting after the 5th revenge. Although this was great. Lightning Bliss had no idea I had listed her as a member of my entourage. So when I said, oh yeah, you can come in to the panels early, you're part of the entourage, she said, wait, I never agreed to that. Well, too bad, it's part of my contract. And she's like, what contract? So, yeah, I messed with her pretty bad. Now, Ella may be wondering, why am I restoring the white I just deleted? My goal is that when I put this into video, I'm going to use color filters to colorize the whites and make so that my Kamen Rider can go between red, green, and blue forms, as is the common gimmick with Kamen Riders. They get multiple forms. But now a question for Champ to Stay, from Champ to Stay. Has Maddie been introduced to Donald and Douglas?
Huh?
Maddie, you with
Donald and Douglas?
I'm not sure who Donald and Douglas are.
No.
Usually Champ wants to know if you've watched Thomas and Friends.
I haven't watched Thomas and Friends.
And then there's also the usual question of, have you read the My Little Pony book, Agents of Smile?
I remember last time I was in the stream with you and I was asked the same question.
Okay, that one's familiar. But Donald and Douglas, Donald, I'm thinking of Donald Duck myself. But I doubt that's whom we're referring to.
Yeah, I don't know what they're referring to. Oh, apparently they're the names of the Scottish engines from Thomas.
Ah, okay. Okay, so we...
Like the context would have been very helpful there, but the answer is still no.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch the show.
Well, thank you.
Just because the character's Scottish doesn't mean I automatically know their existence.
But thank you, Headsplit 13, for cluing us in.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Oh, and Helsing Ghost also had the context, along with Bill Dragon 88 and LB 308. Huh? I've got rhyming. LB 308 and Bill Dragon 88. Oh, and we have a birthday boy in the chat, Torterra 1324. Today is his birthday. Applause, please. Happy birthday, Torterra.
Merry Birthmas.
Merry Birthmas. Oh, I like that. It's kind of like the birthversary.
Yeah.
Now, let's see here. Looking at... I did a very limited sketch on this here driver because, well, the ideas started taking form, and I thought it'd be easier to put them together in... on the computer.
The computer.
Now, let's see here. So, yes, the horseshoe will hold the wings. And the wings... Well, there's a question. See, I want the wings to be able to change color. Just like... glow colors. So I'm going to make a little white circle behind Jan Pinwheel, which is an homage to the original Kamen Rider. There is another Japanese superhero show called Ultraman. And in one of their anniversary-aimed series, they had a villain with just a simple red kind of blob of a monster. He said, oh, monsters today are so complicated. Kids forget the classics. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Can't comment on that. I have heard of Ultraman, but I don't thing I'm thinking of is when people complain about how Pokemon say, like, oh, there's a Pokemon that's like a centipede or a chandelier or a hot air balloon. These designs are just lazy. And I'm like, remember in Generation 1 when we literally had a Pokemon that was called Muck? And was literally just a pile of muck that had become sentient. So it's not a new thing. Or even just like Voltorb and Electrode.
Voltorb.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. My bud Paleo Steno revealed that they've only just now gotten to a dolphin Pokemon, and which is apparently upcoming. And I'm like, really? They had it took them this long to get a dolphin Pokemon? They've had ice cream cone Pokemon. How do you get to ice cream before a dolphin?
Then I'm thinking, yeah, they have not had dolphin Pokemon. They've had whales and seals and crabs and lobsters and seagulls and other things, but never a dolphin.
I know, they kind of have a shark in Sharpedo.
They do have shark, yeah.
So, my goodness. DJ Synchroman, you were more a fan of Gridman, which made it over to America as, and I kid you not, the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Say that 3 times fast.
So, if you watched that show and you liked it, did you have to rehearse how to say the cartoon to tell other people about it?
Are you kidding? I did watch the show, and I did like it. You would have to memorize each character's transformation phrase.
Oh.
The girl of the group, because there's always just one girl, hers was pump up the power. The jock was let's kick some gigabutt. And then, well, there was this, the comedy character always had something different. He'd always say something weird.
It was different every time.
Different every time. He was the wild card. Then he quit and got replaced by a surfer guy. 90s were weird.
Very weird.
But I wouldn't trade him.
No.
Kick some vigorous, various phrase. Oh, and of course, there was always the main hero, which was, let's samurais, guys. And everyone joined in, like it was supposed to be like, you know, the group rally cry, like, yo, Joe.
Like, it's samurai. Did you say samurais or samurai?
Yeah, you know, given the mispronunciation, I wonder how many times they fumbled that in production. Let's blah, 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 blah.
Let's search YouTube for the blooper reel of this show. I'm very curious.
I shudder to think what you might discover, but let me know. I'm curious too.
Someone in the chat, maybe you can find a blooper reel for that. Delegation! I did it again. Great.
Oh, yeah, and GoJelly91 knows the most popular. It's morphin' time. Or, as it's now the most popular phrase, it's morbin' time.
I really didn't understand that. Because he never says it in the movie.
He never does. But, you know, it's not really ours to understand. It's just ours to experience.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't understand the experience.
I know that Sophie Scrubs and Keyframe were quoting that at Winnie's City, and they adored it. They absolutely adored it. So, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, I'm not gonna take away from the fun. I just have no idea.
I'm happy they're happy.
I'm happy
they live in my confusion.
Can't you see this is a land of confusion?
Like my line of confusion. Join me.
Hi. Join us.
One of us.
One of us.
Room for one more.
See, when I do a stupid voice, it always ends up sounding like Mary.
That's a good voice.
It's a good voice. Well, thank you, first of all. But it always ends up sounding like Mary.
It works on so many levels. I mean, she's kind of creepy. Join us in the perfection. Cast off your unclean self.
Well, I was thinking over her like character arc and all this kind of stuff. Like how character that is basically permanently stuck in God mode, kind of like the One Punch Man kind of set. So it's like a character like Mary Sue would never understand the value of accomplishment, because she can instantly do anything and everything perfectly right away, so she's never had to work hard. So she can't appreciate the value of hard work, because everything comes to her so easily and instantly. So when she sees someone else celebrate, for instance, I made a cake without burning it. Yay! It's actually edible. And she would be jealous of the joy that person has. You know? I don't know. Something I was thinking about the other day.
Well, there's an alternative. This might apply to Mary and Saitama, both. That they're what is known as a flat character arc.
Yeah.
In that they themselves do not change. Also, there's me burping. They do not change, but they effect change in the world around them and the characters around them. I mean, anyone who was read this week's Shonen Jump can attest that Saitama invoked a change in a character. I will not give away more than that, but it was after the end of a very, very long battle. I mean, good grief. I believe that children became teenagers in the span of this battle.
Good lord.
Then again, that also is My Little Pony. Almost a decade.
Yes.
There we go.
And in fact, I realized yesterday that in May 2023, I think will be my 10th anniversary of being on YouTube.
Oh, congratulations. So
I technically started the channel in 2011, but I didn't start posting content until 2013.
See, I need to double check when I did that. I'm out of touch. It's definitely out of touch.
It's weird to think how much has changed since I started making content. It's crazy.
Oh, it's all crazy. But then again,
Oh yeah.
that's part of the fun. I mean, to be honest, My Little Pony Generation 4 has been off the screen for 3 years now, and I still do content for it. And I don't regret. Not even a little. But that said, I am,
No regrets.
as I hope this shows, I'm starting to consider other venues of commentary.
Yes. And that's perfectly okay. I mean, I was never like exclusively an MLP YouTuber or MLP artist. Or for me, it just so happened that my MLP content was my most popular stuff. And there's more MLP content on my channel than most other stuff.
And let's see here. Chapter State has a question for us. Favorite Tom and Jerry short and or special?
I'll let you answer that first.
Tom and Jerry, I remember them so well. Well, funny enough, it was the Tom and Jerry kids that I remember. I don't know if that's as big on everyone's nostalgia memories, but they had a Tom and Jerry kids.
I remember that.
And I kind of like the droopy master detective, just because of all the characters to become a master detective. It's droopy. The dude's unfazable.
Droopy kind of reminds me a little bit of Mordecai in a way.
It doesn't talk, it's a dress. Oh.
Okay,
so... Also in the chat, did I see that there's a Blissey? I see a Torterra.
On YouTube, yes.
On the YouTube.
Blissey.
Hello, Blissey. Welcome to my entourage member.
Yes. One of us. Be part of the group. Room for one more.
Trying my best not to do the meanest thing.
Oh, it's all fine.
Okay, can I answer the Tom and Jerry question? And then I need like a very quick bathroom break.
Oh,
after I'm done.
Sure thing.
Okay, when You say the Tom and Jerry specials. I think you're referring to like the movies where they basically insert Tom and Jerry into like stories like The Wizard of Oz and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and all that. I've not seen any of those, but if you ask me what my favorite Tom and Jerry cartoon is, hands down, it's the Cat Concerto. And I actually made a video on my channel about the Cat Concerto, where there's another like there's a Looney Tunes cartoon which is very similar. I think it's the exact same music in the background. The reason is because we had this on NHS, like a compilation of Tom and Jerry cartoons from the 14s, and I would watch this videotape over and over and over. And this was the cartoon that encouraged me to learn how to play piano. I haven't played piano for a few years, but I hope to get back to it eventually. It's one of the funniest cartoons. I remember my granddad laughing at it, and it's just one of those things that is so accessible to everyone, regardless of your age and where you're from. You know, there's no talking in it or anything. It's a cat trying to play a concerto while a mouse is causing havoc on stage. And it's ingenious. I love it.
Oh, marvelous.
It's... All right, I'm going to the bathroom really quick. I'm really sorry.
Oh, no, don't be sorry. Answer. When nature calls, we must answer. Otherwise, we invite disaster.
Indeed. But I'll be right back.
Let's see here. I'm looking for folded wings. I admit I'm relying on what other people have drawn because they're much better at this anatomy than I ever will be. But also I'll modify it so it's not, it still has the Silver-Quill touch. But this one's a little harder. High fidelity photo? Let's see. Pixel cluster. If this is what causes my stream to crash, I'll be very angry. Very cross indeed. No, I think this one's going to require just the good old-fashioned vectoring. Blah, blah, blah. The goal, my thought is that in its off mode, the driver has folded wings until the time comes to transform, and then the wings sprout out. Henshin, which is Japanese for transform. But it always sounds so cool when they say it. Actually, I gotta tell you the truth, I watched the Japanese dub of Transformers, the movie, and Optimus Prime, no matter what the language, sounds so cool. But when he's driving in for that fateful battle with Megatron and he shouts, "Transform!" Oof, give me the chills.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I'm just...
The Japanese dub of the Transformers movie.
I know, it's a bit meta.
Huh, okay.
But yes, usually I'm hearing American dubs of Japanese media, but here we are.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Actually,
I don't think is this on just the DVD? Like you just switched it, or?
Wait, I'm sorry. I missed that for a minute.
It's the Japanese dub for the Transformers movie. Is it available on the DVD?
Sadly, no. It's only available on YouTube without subtitles. So I feel a little cheated.
Okay.
But it's just fascinating. I mean, I've watched the original Transformers movie so often, I certainly don't need to understand the context. I mean, Megatron called Starscream an idiot. I know that abusive relationship well. Actually, it's a little... Honestly, it's like, wow, Starscream really went through a lot more than I appreciated as a kid. You almost feel sorry for him until he starts backstabbing everyone.
Mm-hmm. Almost feel sorry for the guy.
Almost.
Almost.
But then, no. Nope. Then you're on your own there, Screamer.
Mm.
You're going to have to lose to Rainbow Dash. Sorry.
So if this is the Japanese dub, did they also add different music?
No, oddly enough, The Touch, one of the greatest 80s power songs in the world, fight me on that.
I completely agree with you. I will not fight.
The Touch is still in English.
Huh.
So, okay. I don't know what's up there, but let's see. It's little things they add. Like, one of the big things, at the very beginning of the movie, fans witness Unicron destroy an entire planet and civilization. And there's this scene where everyone is getting drawn up into the gravity of this monster planet bearing down on them. In the American version, you hear sounds of destruction, but no voices. In Japanese, they added everyone screaming.
Oh.
Because, it's not dark enough. Wait, let's add the cries of the condemned. I just love that they...
Disturbing.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. And, I mentioned that everyone shouts, transform! Because in Japan, it's kind of tradition for you to announce your abilities and attacks. Though, honestly, if your goal is stealth, I don't know why you're announcing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes they give extra lines. Like when the Autobots are escaping Unicron, poor Jazz, Bumblebee, and Cliffjumper are probably very confused about who's this new guy and what happened to Optimus. But they say something as they're transforming and rolling out, but I don't know what it means. I don't speak Japanese, unfortunately. But they didn't have a line in the original. They just transformed and got out of there. I guess I should be grateful that they even survived. I mean, this is Transformers. Hey, let's kill all the kids' favorite toys.
Precisely. Hey, we want to do a new toy line for this franchise. What should we do? Kill off all of the characters that all of the kids fans love already. That'll work.
By Jove, that's brilliant. I can foresee nothing going wrong.
I know, right? And not only that, not only are we going to kill them off, we're going to kill them off in an incredibly, ridiculously, overly brutal way.
You get a promotion to human relations. Oh.
Jeez.
Actually, I did watch a little bit of the commentary from the creators, and they heard that a kid came home from the movie and locked himself in the bathroom for 3 days. He was so distraught over Optimus's death, and they giggled to each other that these kids know we're gonna bring him back as a zombie and kill him again, right? And I just thought, wow, guys, I don't know if that's the proper attitude to have in this case. It's just like, wow. So yeah, Optimus Prime dies so often. I think, like Harry Potter and I bet even Jesus, because like Optimus will be staying long. Nope, got a new body fitting at 3.
A new body fitting at 3. Or when is it? Oh, it says 3 days time. Oh my god.
Oh man, Bill Dragon 88 saying that the Jam Project, saying Transformers Evolution for Transformers Animated. And Jam Project did the theme for Garo, another far darker tokusatsu show that I love. It's fantasy horror in modern day Japan.
I'm sorry, what's it called? I'm gonna.
Garo. Garo.
Ah.
So yeah, they did the theme for that. Both, I think, the theme song and the transformation music, which has no lyric. No, it has lyrics, but it's in a language I don't even think is Japanese. But it's so good. Oh, it gets you tingling. You know how there's some songs that just get you hyped up no matter what? Like you'd be having the worst possible day where your stream is just fighting you every step of the way, but then you hear that song and you're like, oh yeah, let's do this. Projecting a little here.
Sorry, I'm looking at all the stuff for Arrow.
You're probably going to see a wide variety of quality. As when this started, the graphics looked like PS2 era, and they've gotten better over time, or worse in some cases. There was a Garo series where, like, it was a whole new generation of knights. The main cast were long gone, and I found them all very annoying. Though oddly, one of the knights was played by the same actor who was part of Gokaiger, the pirate-themed Sentai. He was the silver one. Ooh. So how he went from a kid's show to basically having highly suggestive scenes on screen, highly suggestive, like, well, he didn't get typecast. No sirree, Bob.
I'll have to check this out more when we're not streaming, but this is really interesting.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. I'm so glad a friend introduced me.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Blue Griffin raises a good question. How did the Japanese dub handle Wreck-Gar? I was only skimming through certain parts. I didn't check out the Junkion battle. I imagine they kept Weird Al's Dare to Be Stupid. I mean,
I forgot that song was there.
And then, well, we're talking about Transformers Animated. You wouldn't dare be that stupid. I am Wreck-Gar. I dare to be stupid. Ah, I understood that reference.
I'm definitely going to have to rewatch the Transformers movie now, and then try and find the Japanese dub. I don't speak Japanese or anything, but it's just something I feel like I need to hear this.
Champ to Stay has it right. I did do an after the fact on Garo.
Did you?
I did. It was a while back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Clearly, I haven't seen it. Darn.
Okay, Actual SB raises an interesting point. In the era of samurai, it was customary to announce your name, rank, and home before battle. That way, whoever could report to their lord that they defeated a high-ranking person. And I guess that might explain the transition of announcing your attacks. Though at the same time, I'd give the name and address of someone I really didn't like, because that way when they wanted revenge for a defeated foe, they'd go see someone else. I'm not honorable. Just saying. Unhonorable am I. Dishonor on me, dishonor on my house, dishonor on my toilet.
Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on your house, dishonor on your dog, dishonor on your giraffe. I don't know.
Especially on the giraffe for sticking its neck into things.
I know, right? Oh, that was good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I see you. I believe my driver is coming together. bit by bit.
Bit by bit.
I guess
Yes.
I should add a silver quill to the logo, just because I'm not narcissistic enough.
It's consistency.
Let's see here. Oh, Enderpup, you gotta call it a good night? All right, well, have a wonderful evening and a good rest.
Yay. Rest well.
Now, we got further history to complement actual Aspie. Charter points out that when the Mongols invaded, a lone samurai would ride up to a horde of riders and start announcing his lineage, only to have the entire company shoot him full of arrows. I believe that they learned to not flaunt their stuff at that time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 feathers.
Just listening to that story of just all of the arrows. Like, I'm going to announce what I'm going to do. There's 20 arrows in my book. For some reason, my brain went straight to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Message for you, sir.
Thrum. Brave, brave Concord. Oh, I'm actually all right, sir. I think I'll pull through. Followed by the great raid on the wedding party. Brum, brum, bum, 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 bum. Brum, brum, bum, 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 bum. You know, that's actually a joke I've wanted to animate with the Kamen Rider Revice. There's this scene where probably the best heroine Kamen Rider I've seen in a long time, Sakura, she is running at this jerk who's mocking her from across a basketball court. You see this wide-angle shot of the court, and she is just booking it at him. And before he can react, she is just laying him out square across the jaw. But I always wanted to put a Monty Python run to that.
Yes.
Of course, with him grinning like an idiot as this is happening, he's like, dude, clench your teeth. You don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Clench your teeth and roll with the punches because you pissed off the wrong lady. That is often a complaint I have about Japanese superhero shows. The female heroes are often secondary to the guys. They're either overlooked or they try to be strong but are overpowered. And it's not... Sakura, Kamen Rider Jean, or is it Joan? Kind of Joan of Arc? Either way, she was a wonderful exception to the norm. I mean, my critique of Garo was that they explicitly state women can't become Makai knights to battle evil. They can become priestesses, but they can't become knights. And I'm just like, well, why not? I mean, you better have a good reason. Nothing? No reason? Okay, well then, screw y'all. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of Japanese story justifications that I think are baloney. One of my favorite being in Metal Gear. Oh, she breathes through her skin. That's why she wears such little clothing. And I'm like, no. You wanted to have her in as little clothing as possible, so you came up with that contrivance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're arguing for the steady building of the house, but the house is built on quicksand.
Yeah.
And
Also, I have a question.
42?
Have you saved?
Oh, you're joining the chorus of my friends who are looking out for me.
Yeah.
Yes, I have saved, but I'm saving again.
Okay. Save your work, kids.
Oh, Colinda, you understand the Kamen Rider franchise, asking how does a female rider die? I'm mostly thinking of Kamen Rider Ryuki, where it was sort of a Highlander-esque. There can be only one.
The only one.
And for one movie, there was a swan-themed female Kamen Rider who was mostly in it to get revenge on a murderer, but she could never actually win. I mean, like, she really got trounced in every fight. And only at the end, when she does die, that she gets her revenge, but even then it doesn't really feel like it's her victory. It's almost, well, I don't know, I don't want to give too many spoilers in this, but it was not satisfying, and I felt like it was more a disservice to her. But yeah. Let's see. Also, this was way back, in like before the 80s, I think. There was a guy named Stronger, Kamen Rider Stronger, incredibly sexist. Literally talked about how weak women were. But he had a partner.
Sounds like a wonderful human being.
I didn't, they may be heroic, but not all the Kamen Riders I find are likable.
Mm.
They'll fight the evil, but you're like, dude, just go back to punching people. Leave the social commentary alone. You're not qualified. But he had a partner who was Ladybug themed. And then when I learned that the stunt actor was male, I was like,
Oh.
Suddenly all those up the skirt shots feel really, really like, well, okay. I almost feel like there's some poetic justice in that. But even so.
Sometimes I just don't know what to say. Like,
Believe me,
laugh.
all you can do is laugh at times. Because otherwise it's just, what in the hoo-ha hey?
And to sound like fortune cookie for a moment, he who laughs last.
He who laughs lasts longest, yep.
He who laughs last.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, Lordy.
Champ to Stay wants to know, how did I come up with a set for Common Ground? I did some search for ESPN sets, of which there have been a multitude over the years. So never lacking for examples. And all I had to do was add a little bit of pony theme with Celestia and Luna's icons and some rainbows, because, ponies and rainbows. And it was only as I was working I realized that if I made it Silver's Quarter, I could make the Silver-Quill brand on there.
Yay.
So, it worked out well.
Yay.
Second question was, and this should be, do we prefer French toast or plain toast? Now, Maddie, I do hope at some point you've had some French toast while here in the States, at least.
Oh, I've had it back home as well.
Oh, good.
Because French toast is one of my favorite things to have ever. But I find it interesting that if I want to have French toast anywhere I've been to so far in America, it's always sweet. It's always got the syrup mixed in the batter. You can't ask for it just plain if you just want to have it with a pinch of salt, which is how I have it.
Huh.
Yeah.
I confess.
But I have had it with syrup on it as well, but I'm like, no, I just like it with a pinch of salt and some ketchup on the side.
I have never had French toast without sweetness. For me, they're synonymous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a hard comparison. Plain toast is healthier for you. And, we've had a little butter or jam, and it's pretty dang good on its own. French toast is a special occasion treat for me, especially at a convention. Or, I admit, it conjures up Metalocalypse jokes.
Conjures up what?
Oh, I don't know if you ever knew about this. Adult Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, they had a series called Metalocalypse, where...
Oh, yes. Yes.
there's an episode where they're trying to get a new album produced, and the drummer of the band, he is just wailing on the drums, going yeah, just giving it his all, and everyone else is just sitting in the room, saying, yeah, can you be more brutal, just more brutal, and they're eating, and the band guy goes, is that French toast? You're having French toast without me? Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Can you be more brutal? How about I bash your face in? Yeah, bashing faces. That's brutal. Picture that. The guy takes another bite of French toast. And, the
I want
anger.
French toast now.
I know, right? I'm hungry for it too. Darn you, Champ to Stay. You tricked me into making us all hungry.
I know, right? So I just make my own at home and just.
Well, okay, so
never really had it out at restaurants because it's always sweet.
Well, yes, this is what I'm wondering. If like the French syrup and the like cinnamon is not part of the initial creation, what's a non-sweet French toast recipe?
It would just be normal whole bread. Like whole wheat bread.
Uh-huh.
And I use lactose-free milk and eggs,
Obviously.
And you just dip the batter once you've mixed the egg and the milk together, throw it on a pan, flip it a few times until it's like all crispy and yummy, and then slap it on a plate, pinch salt, and there you go.
Fascinating. I've never had French toast like that. I feel a bit uncultured now. Uncultured heathen, if you will. I mean, there'd be an actual French person like, oh, you uncultured swine.
Yes.
What
are you looking at? Pocky puck.
We do not just have French for the dessert or the fattening up. By the way, this accent is incredibly racist. Be an actual. Oh God! Don't anyone tell Imalu.
Oh, you know what? To be pedantic for a moment, it would be the right word would be xenophobic, not racist. But anyway, yeah.
Either way, don't tell Imalu. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person.
No.
Yes.
Don't say anything. No.
I have to say these things because I'm making fun of the French.
It's just every time we go out for food, everything is sweet. Or if I ordered just plain toast, as the question implied, you would get bread, but it would be honey bread.
Huh.
Or the butter would be sweet. I've never experienced that. Be like, there's a plate of butter, dip the bread in there, eat the bread. I'm like, there's sugar in this. And people look at me like, of course there's sugar in it.
You know, I admit
there's sugar in everything.
I never considered I had this blind spot, but I'm suddenly realizing. I feel like I've missed out on a culinary enlightenment. The only answer is I have to get across the pond to like UK ProniCon or Galacon. I need to experience a different culture's take on foods I take for granted.
If you ever get the chance to go to UK ProniCon, go, because that convention is one of the best I have ever attended. There's such a good group of people, and they look after their vendors, look after their guests and analysts and stuff, as they should anyway. But that convention is one of the longest running MLP cons because it initially started as a toy fair. And it's still technically a toy fair. Like, there's more toys there than anything else, which I love.
Well,
but yeah, if you get the chance to go. And also, if it's in Nottingham again, It's a beautiful city.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's see. Cherry Fluffbelly has to go, so wish you a very good night and a good rest. Let's see.
Yes. S12.
Also, Tom Revor on Twitch. Try a Google search of French toast recipe savory.
Yeah, that's basically what I've been talking about.
Okay. Well, now I feel the need to try this. But I'm a terrible
Your
cook.
brain might be like, where's the sugar?
Well, honestly, I have a sweet tooth, so my brain's like that every time I have a meal.
Mm-hmm.
It might explain a few problems I have.
I don't have as much of a sweet tooth as most Americans I know.
That's a good thing.
My husband really he loves chocolate and donuts and all that kind of stuff. I like it to a point I get kind of sick of it after a while.
He sounds like a man after my own stomach. But yes, unfortunately, yeah, America really ups the sugar in everything.
Yeah. Or even one time I went to a restaurant with my mother-in-law and my husband, and this is one of the times where I wanted it, but I couldn't get it because it was the sweet kind. So I said, okay, I'll have the salad, because everything else has sugar in it. Lo and behold, the bowl of the fruit salad arrived, and there was custard sugar all over it.
You can't escape, sorry.
You can't escape the sugar.
Wow, I feel like this stream just became an indictment against all of American dieting. So much sugar everywhere.
Yeah.
I never knew. I had no clue of what to do. A boo-hoo-hoo.
I'm still educating myself about the wonderful variety that is available for Americans. You guys have no idea how good you've got it in regards to all the choices you guys have.
But then,
amazing.
But then we slap sugar on all the choices.
And then you throw sugar on everything.
That's right. Cartoon Cat Girl, would you like some sugar with your sugar? I've actually had that.
Sugar with your sugar.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The wings are looking good.
Beg your pardon?
I said the wings are looking good.
Thank you. I admit they're taking... I think drawing these wings has taken the longest, but it's worth it if I can get it right.
Wings are hard.
That's right. And, well, Bliss had a good observation that, look at your hand, the wings can be like the fingers. And I fondly remember My Little Pony doing that on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to... Well, I don't want to be like Tell Your Tale, where the legs of the ponies sometimes look like fingers. Because that's creepy.
It is creepy.
I mean, then all I can think of is Thing from the Addams Family.
Yeah. That is good advice for films like these, saying like the wings, like treat it like you would a hand, because essentially that is what a wing is. It's an arm. So, yeah.
Makes me wonder.
Go somewhere with that, and like, yeah.
Makes me wonder how many people have gotten slapped by a wing and be like, just the bird saying, "Don't get fresh with me."
I remember drawing when they first released images for T5, and there was one image that they released of Zip, and her front legs were really weird. Like, the bend in them was not believable it was clearly anatomically wrong. So I took that picture and I added it to a video, and all I said over the top in the commentary was, "That is not how you leg."
Seriously, do you even leg?
I know, right?
I mean, granted, My Little Pony always takes some liberties with pony anatomy, but you know, sometimes there's too far. Way too far. Way nay too far.
Way nay too.
Let's see here. Chris, I have had water today. I have had several glasses. Thank you. Gaming Boy 100 wants to know what we think of the stuff going on at HBO. And I think that's to do with all the stuff that they've taken off their streaming service, including, of all things, Sesame Street.
Actually, with Sesame Street, most if not all of their episodes are on the YouTube channel anyway. Yeah. So not all is lost, but it's still horrible that so many shows are basically gone. Like, a lot of these shows don't have like physical copies available. So unless like the creators have them like archived somewhere, they're gone. And you know, as creative people as we both are, seeing that happen, I don't want to assume, but I would think you would feel the same, that that's terrifying.
Oh, it
is. You put all of this time to create this thing that you've probably had rolling around in your brain for years, and it finally gets created, and then overnight it could be gone, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Like, I don't understand. I'm not going to pretend to understand why all this is happening, but from a creator's standpoint, and someone who would love the chance to create their own TV series, to know that this can happen is very scary.
Oh, I agree. I think when I learned about the Doctor Who fandom and their lost episodes, mainly that because the BBC would burn film reels that they weren't going to syndicate anymore. They would just burn the original copies. That's horrifying.
Yeah. You're literally deleting history.
You are, with the firewall.
Yeah.
And a part of me just thinks, why on earth would you do that? Why would you do that to... What a slap in the face of all the hard work that went into it. And the short-sightedness of it all.
It's like a lot of the animatronic stuff and the production design models and concept art after a movie was made, like before the 70s anyway, when that all changed, they would just burn everything.
Ugh. See,
and now everything is saved and archived, and some of these things that are used in these movies are considered like museum artifacts, and quite rightly so, in my opinion. So I think on a similar vein, like, just imagine like everything that's on HBO that's being removed is the equivalent of going into a prop pit and just lighting everything on fire.
No, now you've reminded me of the movie The Hateful Eight.
I don't think I've heard of that. Hateful Eight.
It's a Tarantino movie, I believe. And the thing of it is that there's this scene where I think it's Jeff Bridges' character. I'm sure people will correct me if I'm getting that wrong, but Jeff Bridges, Hateful Eight. Yep. He smashes a guitar that one of the other characters is playing. Thing of it is, that guitar was an actual heirloom from the Genuine Frontier days. He smashed it before they had a chance to swap it.
Oh.
So when you see the stunned reaction by his co-actors, that's genuine. Because they're just thinking, what did you just do? And I believe he is now banned from ever touching another relic. Ever.
Oh my God.
He's blacklisted.
Mm.
So there's a bit of movie trivia for you.
Yeah.
All things... Well, I mean, all things eventually decay. I mean, unfortunately, entropy is the odds-on favorite. But you don't have to hasten it. You guys.
Yeah, I remember reading up about what happened to the orca, the boat from Jaws.
Ah.
I don't know if you heard the story, but the Jaws ride, it's not in Orlando anymore, or in the Universal Parks rather.
Mm-hmm.
It's been replaced by the Harry Potter world. But in one of the Universal Parks, I can't remember which one, like one of the set pieces on the ride was the orca, the screen used ship from the movie. And one day, Steven Spielberg wanted the boat. And sadly, the boat had been removed from the ride and had been destroyed because it was falling apart. So the screen used orca boat doesn't exist anymore.
Wow. And no one thought to check with the man himself.
No.
It's like, hey, we borrowed your boat for our ride. We kind of smashed it. Is that cool? Are we cool, brah?
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine the choice words he had for the staff.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I'm going to see Jaws on the big screen tomorrow.
Oh, that that would be exciting.
I guess I'll then go to counseling for my intense hydrophobia that I will suddenly develop.
Oh. Is this a special screening? Is there like an anniversary I didn't realize?
I'm not sure of any anniversary. I think theaters are trying to generate a little interest as we're in sort of an in-between season now. It's only it's $3 a ticket, which is, compared to the usual rates, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So my friend and I are gonna go see it. We had several options, but somehow Jaws just sounded interesting. I want to see it in the real big theater.
It's a film I would love to see on the big screen.
And Tom Revor wonders, apparently Stanley Kubrick intentionally destroyed all the props from 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know if he did that to discourage the idea of a sequel, or if he just didn't want everyone else mimicking his style. It's a bit hard to believe. I mean, some of those props are like a spaceship. I don't know what to make of that at all. See, I'm learning all sorts of new things tonight. I've learned I've been having French toast wrong, and now I'm watching movies with destroyed props.
There is another story about Aardman Studios, the very first Wallace and Gromit short. I could be wrong about this. I could be remembering it wrong. Apparently, all of the models for the original Wallace and Gromit were destroyed in a fire. And they were kept in a building that was essentially meant to be to preserve these things. So it wasn't just the Wallace and Gromit stuff that was destroyed, it was a whole bunch of other stuff as well.
Ooh, bitter.
Yeah. It's very sad.
Actually, I can give you a tragedy from Japan. Also in the series of superheroes, Japan had its own version of Spider-Man.
Oh.
He was a very, very, very different origin. He had a giant robot called Leo Marveler. And apparently, halfway through production, someone stole the costume for the robot.
Oh no.
And they had to basically... Suddenly it was all just stock footage. You could never show the Monster of the Day up against Marveler on screen. It was always cut away to, recycled footage of an attack. Really brought down the production. And I don't know if they ever found out who took it. Whoever it was obviously
this would be
a jerk.
One of the reasons why they always nowadays make duplicates of props and things that don't necessarily seem to matter but can be broken, so they've got or stolen, so they've got backups. But then back then they would not have had the budget to make more than one.
Well, makes sense to me.
I'm assuming.
A safe and I would think wise assumption, if nothing else, a wise policy. I just think of that. Some jerk decided, hey, this looks really cool. I'm going to sabotage the entire production.
Like, at what point that would go through your brain and think that that's an acceptable thing to do?
I have no earthly idea. Battleship Agincourt, you're calling it a night? Well, I wish you a very good rest.
Rest well.
Indeed.
Rest.
And Chris is looking out for me, saying it's been almost 2 hours. But if you don't mind, I'll fudge the time a little because we were incommunicado for a little while there.
Sure, we had major technical problems earlier, so I really don't mind going for longer to compensate for that.
And Headsplit 13 wonders, with the whole stolen robot costume, they couldn't get another. I think because this was so early in the genre they call tokusatsu's, it was so early in the history, they probably didn't have the budget for it. It's like, it's all or nothing, essentially. And so that's part of the tragedy. Is that they couldn't just whip up another suit because otherwise they'd have to probably triple their budget. But you're kind of left wondering what kind of series we had if someone else had practiced some greater decency. Let's see here. I think I just about got this, but I need... Whoops. How thick are these wings? We're going to run a little experiment. Boop. And a boop. And the thickness, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to say 4 points. And I hide edges, show edges, thank you. Without edges, I can't see the shape's anchor points, and then, I'm up a creek. I really should disable that shortcut. Select same stroke color. And where... Oh, no, that wasn't smart. Select same stroke weight. Also not smart. We'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Which probably means I'll screw it up.
Clearly not.
Well, let's see. I mean, I guess there's this entire history of loss and, well, nothing is ever produced the way we truly envision it because there's just so much potential for human error and our own and the unexpected. Which means when a movie really, really works, like we get a true masterpiece like Jaws, we should be doubly grateful that things worked out the way they did. Because I remember that Jaws animatronic did not work well.
I believe there was 3 different animatronics used in Jaws. There was 2, like one that was the left side and one for the right side, and then one that was the full covered one that attacked the boat. But I don't think it had a tail. But the animatronic, as far as I remember, they didn't last because obviously they're submerged in water. So they've got the added weight of the water being absorbed and then damaging the workings of the animatronic, so they just didn't survive.
Oh, that's harsh.
I believe that any time you see a Jaws animatronic on display, usually from Jaws 2, because the ones from the first movie don't exist. Or if they do, they're not complete. There'll be like a film cast of the original movie, if you're lucky. I could be wrong about that. I'm just going by memory right now.
Well, good memory. Let's see here.
Really? I don't think so.
I think you have a good memory. I mean, remembering the fright of seeing a giant shark in the water, that's not so good a memory. That's more like, ah! But, you know. Wings folded color.
I seem to remember reading somewhere that, similar to the story that you just told about someone stealing the robot, someone stole a Godzilla costume. I think it was a film that was made in like the 80s or something. Luckily, it was found and returned. I could be wrong about that, though.
Jeez, what? I mean, messing with Spider-Man franchise is one thing, but you going after Godzilla?
Yeah, I know, right?
Trying to take advantage of the big G, you in trouble.
Yeah. I had this does not have anything to do with Godzilla, but it popped into my head. In 2021, I believe it was, I had the absolute privilege to go and see an exhibit of Ray Harryhausen's work.
Ooh.
Yeah. So basically, I got the chance to see most, if not all, of the stop motion puppets that he used for his movies in this exhibit. This was in Edinburgh, and my husband, we went together, and I was just blown away with how all at once simple, delicate but detailed these things were, and how small they were. Like the Kraken is only maybe 3 feet tall, and I thought it would be a lot bigger.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Going back to Spaceballs real quick, because Spaceball 1 was only, what, a couple inches? But you know,
Really?
I think, but they break for nobody. What movie is she talking about right now? I believe it's Clash of the Titans.
Yes, sorry, I mentioned Ray Harryhausen. I didn't specify the name of the
It's okay.
movie.
I know my Krakens. Oh.
Yes.
I know. It's a cracking good time.
I think my favorite thing from the exhibit, apart from the owl, was the skeletons. They were gorgeous, insanely creepy, but so pretty. I mean, a lot of the I can't remember the name of the. Most of the models were in very bad condition that you could see all the workings of their inner skeleton. But to me, that just added to their beauty because you're seeing how someone made these things.
Plus, I mean, you're already seeing the skeleton of the skeleton. I mean, if anything,
Skeleton of the skeleton. Yeah.
if nothing else, that sounds wonderful. I'm jealous. Jealousy.
Jealousy.
And jealousy. And let's see here. So, what if I can create subgroups? Well, I don't know. But here we go. We got wings open, wings closed. And I feel like all that's left to question now is how can I make the back of the driver a bit more interesting? It's covered
I'm
up.
looking at this, and my brain just went, this is the biblically accurate Silver-Quill.
Oh no, this is me just one giant eyeball.
Yeah.
My goodness, I've seen that more often. I don't know what sparked this trend of biblically accurate, and they're all just giant eyeballs. Look. The only thing I mostly remember from those biblically accurate or Bible discussions is if the angel says be not afraid, you should be afraid. You are about to be given one heck of a task. It's gonna be brutal.
Because, the Renaissance art always depicted angels as really feminine, tall, perfect humans that played little parts. They had tiny little wings on their back. Or they've got cherubs where they're just these little babies with the wings. And I'm like, the depiction and description of angels in the Bible is not like that at all. But it's just interesting that is the image that people basically see in their brain. Because history has told us that is what they look like. Even though that's not what the Bible says they look like.
Oops.
It's interesting to me.
With good reason. Sorry, one sec. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this here thingamabob. Huh. Still not quite right, I feel. No, wait. It actually does fade into the proper look. Let's just flip that over. Nope. But
I'm really enjoying watching your process.
I don't know if I'd give it so dignified a term. I call it artistic flailing.
This isn't flying, this is falling in style.
Exactly.
I'm flailing in style. Because, I say that because I don't use Adobe Illustrator, so I don't really know anything about it.
Oh,
but it looks very similar to Photoshop, obviously, because it's an Adobe program. But yeah,
looks, but treats several instances differently. Now, anyone who has seen Mad Munchkin's art streams knows her wonderful skill. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. So how can I put this? Maddie is exceptional artist who has learned the use of both traditional and digital styles to create art. I consider myself more of something of a minor amateur architect, where I can build an image, but not necessarily. Well, how else can I put it? I can't compare with the people who can genuinely draw by hand. So I stand in awe of such people, including Maddie. Who I'm talking about is if you're not here. That's actually very rude of me.
Compliments are my kryptonite. Stop.
I know, that's why I'm sharing with you.
Oh. Try your, like,
I dare just
one chemical accident from just becoming a supervillain. Like.
Chemical accident. After our discussion tonight, I'm pretty sure that's just the American diet.
So you're saying you're already a supervillain?
I think so. I think I've done that to myself.
That explains so much.
Right? Also, I've only just now realized that somewhere along the line I moved the art window. That was odd. Well,
I thought you were going to say you moved the wrong word.
oh, well, that's the nice thing.
All in there.
I guess that's one thing about... Here's something that Photoshop don't have. I can look at all the different groups and components in a layer because they are their own individual shape. I guess the wing line art is probably the best example. So even if I put something on the wrong layer, it's not too hard to get it back where it should be. Whereas in Photoshop, the pixels are all intermixed. So that may be a point of no return.
And I have a terrible habit of not naming my layers.
Oh yeah, I'm guilty of that myself.
I don't color code them either.
Well, that
I'm just like, what layer is this line on? Layer 147.
at least you never say, "Ooh, what does this button do?"
Sometimes I do if I'm drawing for too long. And can I point out, American keyboards are laid out slightly differently from British and European keyboards. So sometimes the keyboard shortcuts don't work.
Good Lord, I feel like we just made this conscious effort to be different out of spite or something. We can't even agree on a keyboard?
Don't you guys remember what you did in 70 times 6? You know, you're just like, see you later. Bye.
Yeah, bro, I was drunk that day.
We're going to change the keyboard layout just to spite you. We're going to spite you with our keyboards. You know what else we're going to do? We're going to drive on the other side of the road.
And we'll spell color without a U.
Mm-hmm. And we'll say aluminium wrong. Oh my god, I could go on. It's so funny. I'm married to an American. Some of the differences, like chips, for instance, they're called crisps. So I would be like, what kind of flavored crisps do I want? It's chips, honey. Oh, it's crisps. Oh, it's chips. It's bloody crisps.
It's a Dorito.
Like this in the middle of Walmart.
The answer is always Cool Ranch. Just go with Cool Ranch.
I do like Cool Ranch.
I beseech thee.
I would argue that the best flavor is spicy sweet chili. That's my favorite.
Oh no.
Yum.
And next thing we'll wonder, pizza with the hands or fork and knife.
What?
Pizza. Finger food or utensils?
If I'm eating with my parents, a knife and fork. Any other place, pizza.
Okay.
Finger food.
Parental supervision at least remains a national consistency.
It's like a common courtesy thing, I think. Just, yeah.
Okay. I think I have my Silver-Quill driver.
Looks good.
Next, maybe I can post a video showing different, like, transformations or some such. Wings folded color. Wings folded. There we go. Whoop. And driver back. So, next time, we'll actually start trying to put together the rider. My transformed self. In fact, it'll be somewhat authentic. Maybe I should start with the bike, because I'm hoping to have Dusty Cat on next time. But yes, I have just entertaining ideas. I was low energy today because today's the first day I could slow down after getting back from the convention, and envisioning gimmicks and ideas for this is really what perked me up. Really gave me an energetic surge. So this has been a lot of fun, and Maddie, it's been a lot of fun talking with you.
I'm really glad you invited me.
Oh, very much. You've enlightened me to several features that I didn't even consider.
I've enlightened you about how you've been doing French toast wrong.
I've been doing lots of things wrong. I feel like I owe all of France another apology. Especially for that accent I tried earlier. But yes, to preview what I hope to work on, I figure a hippogriff rider should have transformations. So this will be the Toku Twitter form of a bird. Then the bike, combine with the bike to become a horse. Get you over those speed bumps a lot easier. And, well, we'll have Silver-Quill, the common rider, take form. These good times. Now, Chris suggests raiding Fiora after this stream. I don't know how to do that. I've never raided on Twitch.
I don't use Twitch, so I don't know how to do that either.
Let's see here. Mod view, chat highlight settings, chat streams, community. Oh, community. Maybe it's under there. Go back to chat.
I wouldn't know. Can't help you there.
Well, either which way, I will look into how to raid, but it'll probably give me a history of the Mongolians. And in fact, I could kind of see it now. The Mongolian, how to raid like a Mongolian. If someone pauses to declare their house, shoot them. Oh, Xander's got the right.
How many times? Message for yourself.
Xander says, to raid, just grab torches and run to England.
You left. You can't come back.
Yeah, I know. There ain't no coming back from this, is there?
And I know King George said, please come back. Please come back. But no, we don't want you back anymore.
I thought it was Hamilton saying, you'll be back. And oh my goodness.
It was King George. But, yeah.
Oh, and let's see here.
Yeah.
I believe.
You believe.
Let's see here. First, all right. We're going to try this. Here's a little Twitchception. So let's see here. Twitch, Fiora the Tank Girl. Oh, there we go. Well, I'm putting a Twitch commercial on a Twitch stream. This is confusing. Very confusing. In fact, oh yes, I'm in Twitch seeing it. Oh wow. So let's see here. Apparently it's supposed to be /raid Fiora the Tank Girl.
Hey, don't cross the streams.
Oh, I'm crossing. I'm crossing. This channel.
Everyone, he's causing mass hysteria.
This channel is intended for mature audiences. Well, yes. Fiora's a very intelligent person. Of course I consider her mature. But, you know, did the raid work? That's the question.
I don't know.
Meanwhile, I've got
Yes.
Raidception going on the screen. This is fantastic. So now I've learned that I'm doing French toast wrong. I learned how to raid, and I've learned several historical facts. Need to click raid.
Let's see all the things that happened. You guys threw all our tea in the river, and then you drove on the wrong side of the road.
Oh, yes.
And then you changed the spelling of color.
All right, and now I have raided Fiora. And she is doing some manner of... Oh, she's getting mad. I bet she's getting mad at me.
I am glad
Yeah.
you made it home as well.
Oh.
It is good to hear from you.
I'm hearing it with you. Okay.
Yes, I
This also
unmuted.
means I think that your actual stream has ended.
You know, I believe that's the truth. It is time to call this good, for we have had a wonderful time. But now we've also had hell of a lot of technical issues. So now we must rest.
Yes.
Oh. And I just realized Wolfie Star tipped me another $10. That's Wolfie! Oh.
You did.
All right. Well, I will offer further praise down the road. But Maddie, thank you for joining me tonight and just hanging and sharing your insights.
Yeah.
And
We are still on YouTube, though. So that's good.
well, given how much time we spent on trying to get back on YouTube, I think that's only fair. So, everyone, I wish you the best weekend. Be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.